Hi everyone, it's Darlene. Welcome back for another card video. I have this cute card here made with the Stampin' Up! Foxy Friend stamp set and matching Fox Builder punch. And I have this Friend die by Simon Says Stamp, and then this Playful Backgrounds. I'm using the Stripes by Stampin' Up! The first thing I'm going to do is take a piece of Stampin' Up! Cardstock and die cut the word Friend from the left lower corner. And I'm going to be really careful when I take this out because I need to preserve those little pieces. So what I'm going to do is take a Post-it and turn it upside down so the sticky side is up. And then I'll take the pieces that I need, since I'm going to be putting those back later, and put it on the sticky side of the Post-it. And that way I don't have to worry about them getting lost because these pieces are really small. The E was actually stuck in the die, so I just poked it out right onto the Post-it. Next I'm going to take my Crumb Cake ink and ink up the fox/cat and stamp it on top of the friend. So the friend is the rock that this cat is sitting on. And that's the reason why I use the Stampin' Up! Cardstock, is because I'm using Stampin' Up! Ink here. I'm also going to stamp the head on another piece of cardstock here, and I'm going to punch it out in just a little bit. There's a cat face, and I'm going to stamp it with some VersaFine Black Onyx ink on the part that's going to pop up on the face. There's also a little paw in the set. It's really adorable, so I'm going to stamp little paws on the front of this kitty. I wanted to add some markings to this cat, and I actually started adding them to the die cut panel and realized that I was going to cover this piece. So you could see I just drew this and realized, no, wrong one. So move over to the real head, and I'm going to draw in some ears and then also some stripes. And I'm using this Micron pen number 3. It's the one I've been using for my Zentangling. So it's a really nice dark black ink and easy to draw with. So I'm just going to draw like a longer stripe in the center and then 2 short ones on either side. And then I'm going to go to his body and I'm going to draw 3 stripes on either side. And after I finished, it was kind of hard to get the right angle on the left side because I'm a righty. And I realized that my stripes were a little bit higher on the left than the right. And I actually contemplated doing this whole thing over again, but then decided that it really was not that big of a deal. So I'm going to move on. When I draw the stripes for his tail, I'm going to curve them a little bit, and that's just so that the curves kind of follow the line of the tail and make it seem round. So I'm just going to draw these all the way across the tail. Now I can take my punch and punch out the face of the kitty. It's really easy if you look through the bottom of the punch. And then I put a dimensional on the back and popped him up on the die cut panel. I have a piece of Neenah Solar White cardstock that I've cut to fit behind the friend die. I'm just going to mark it in a couple of areas so I know how wide I need to color the area. And I'm going to take 3 colors of red. I have R29, which I'm going to start at the bottom and flick upward. Then I'll take the R24 and fill in the middle. And finally, the RV14 will finish off the top. I know I kind of whipped through here, but it's really just coloring with not too much detail. So I'm just making sure that I have dark on the left and light on the right, so it looks like it's kind of fading to the right. Next, I'm stamping my stripe background onto some Stampin' Up! Cardstock. This is Real Red ink. And I had a little bit of trouble getting a nice impression, but as I continued to stamp and use the stamp, it got a lot better. So if you're having just kind of not a very good image, just try stamping several times on a piece of scratch paper. I cut these pieces into 2 1/2 inch strips, and I also cut 2 1/4 inch black strips. I'm going to take my Express-It glue pen and I'm going to adhere the black strip onto the striped strip. I'm going to do that for both of these and then cut off the excess. And this is going to be the border for the kitty. I thought it would be easier to combine these 2 first and then put them on the card base. So now I'm attaching them to the front of the card base, one on either side. And I just used tape runner for that. I purposely waited to cut this kitty panel until I could see how much black I wanted to show. So I'm sort of measuring it on the left-hand side, and then I'm going to pull it down and eyeball that same exact amount of black on the right-hand side. I'll just mark that with a pencil, and then I took it off to my trimmer and cut it. This set by Simon Says Stamp is called Tiny Tag Words. It has a lot of fun words in it, and you can arrange your own sentiment. So I picked out all my words and I arranged them, and now I'm going to stamp them from the bottom up, inking them all with VersaFine Black Onyx ink. By doing it from the bottom up, I can make sure that my last word lines up with the bottom of the friend sentiment. So I'm going to turn this panel over. I'm going to fill it with Scotch foam tape. I'm going to take that red piece that I colored, I'm going to hover it over, and then once I get it centered where I want, then I'll just press down lightly, and then I'll put some ATG tape runner on the colored piece and put this onto my card base. The last thing I have to do is adhere those missing pieces from the friend sentiment. So I have them on this posted to the side, so I'm going to grab my pick-me-up stick and use my Express It glue marker. You can see when I take the top off here, it's got a black tip now, and that's because I used it on black cardstock. So although it's coming out a little bit gray, it still seems to be functioning okay, but I'm still evaluating this glue marker. Anyway, so I'm going to put some on each of the pieces from the F and the D, and then for the E, I decided to dab the cardstock and put the piece on because the piece was so incredibly small. Anyway, so that is the card for today. I really think this card is so cute. I love the kitty and I love the face that comes with the stamp set. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.